Alright guys, welcome back to this channel. So today is a tutorial on how to use Machine native mode with third-party plugins. So maybe you have noticed that my Machine Micro is running in native Machine mode, but also I'm using a third-party like drum plugin for my drum sound. So your first question might be, why do you want to use your machine this way? Because you can like switch your machine to MIDI mode, then it's compatible with any DAW and any drum plugins. So why you want to use it in machine's native mode while also working in like third-party drum plugins? Well, there are maybe a couple of reasons. The first one might be that your machine actually have different pad sensitivity under machine native mode and MIDI mode. So with native machine controller mode, the pads are like a little bit more sensitive than in MIDI mode. So I'm not quite sure about the reason behind, but there is already a couple of discussions out there in like Native Instruments websites and also in other places as well. So if I were to take a guess, it might be that under Machine's native controller mode, Native Instruments did some kind of trick there to make it actually more sensitive because actually you see you don't have aftertouch here. You don't have aftertouch in pad mode. So I'm guessing that native instruments might be using both the hit and the aftertouch to actually combine them to produce the trigger, while in machine's MIDI mode, you only have the hit MIDI message, which is the reason why it's not so so sensitive or so responsive compared to machine's native mode. And another reason is that in native mode, actually you can change the like MIDI note of every key of every pad on the fly. You can see that with my Machine Micro Max 3, we can change the MIDI note right on the tiny screen here with this knob. But in MIDI mode, if you want to modify the corresponding key map, the only way you can do that is by hooking up your MIDI controller software, which is not so handy as we can change it right from the controller itself. So with that being said, let's head over to our Ableton to see how we can do the setup. So the first step is that you have to create a new MIDI track and load up your Machine 2 plugin. So in Ableton, you can use both the VST plugin and audio unit plugin, but here you want to use the VST plugin because for AU plugin, it does not support the MIDI routing we needed. So once machine is loaded up, what we're gonna do is actually to route the MIDI message of each pad to our like host software. We can do that by selecting all 16 pads here and click this icon, and then click sound, then click on output, and under here, click on MIDI, and the MIDI destination, we set it to host. You can also set a specific like MIDI channel, for instance, channel 10. Actually, we don't have to load up any sound in each of the pads, but maybe you want to give it a different name to make your life easier. So the name also appears on the screen if you are using Machine Micro, and if you are using the big machine, Machine Max 3 or Machine Plus in controller mode, you have all of the names displayed on your screen here. So the next thing is to actually set the MIDI mapping of each pad, which you can do on your controller by activating pad mode first and select the corresponding pad and use this knob to set the bass key. For instance, let's set it to, since it's a kick, so let's set it to C1. And you can also set each pad to a different color by right-clicking on the pad and give it whatever color you like. And repeat the same thing for all 16 pads. It seems that it's like kind of tedious for the first time, but it's a one-off effort because you can, after doing all of this, you can save the group as save as here and give it a name. And next time you want to record this setting, just right-click on the group and select open, and I have it saved here. So I just open my previously saved group and voila. So the next thing is to create another MIDI track by insert MIDI track here. And on this track, you can load up any like third-party drum plugin, drum sound plugin you like. I have my model drum loaded up here. And the next thing is to actually route the MIDI data from your machine channel to your drum plugin channel. The first thing is to choose MIDI from here. And under there, you can see all of your like MIDI channels. So I'm just click on track 6, which corresponds to the Machine 2 track we just loaded. And from under here, you make sure you choose Machine 2. So if you don't see Machine 2 here, you only have pre-FX or post-FX, the most likely thing is that you accidentally used the audio unit version of your Machine plugin, because Ableton does not support audio unit plugin routing. And by now, you are all good to go. Make sure you have armed the track, and here you go. So I hope you find this quick tutorial useful, and if it did help you out, please give it a thumb up and also be sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos coming up. So until next time, see ya!